tell me about you. Obviously, you weren't born in Ukraine; you were born here. But tell me your story, like from UK, London, when you were growing up here. What was it like? What was it like for you to grow up here in the UK, where Ukraine wasn't known? What was it like for you to grow up here? Tell me your experience here.
Yeah, so again, we're on identity talks, and like that's identity is such an interesting, like, I think, subject. I guess each person decides for themselves, like what their identity is, but then also you have to fit in within a society, and then whichever society you also identify with. So
Yes.
I think for first generation immigrants, it's a common story where you might go back to the country where you're from, and they also don't look at you. They say, no, actually, you're not Ukrainian or Russian, you're English.
Yes.
Like, I actually always considered myself like Russian Ukrainian, like, and I'm not gonna like, like obviously since the wars happened, like I could try and hide it and like, no, I was never Russian, right? But to me, that would make me a rat, a snake. I can't like all of a sudden because I don't like.
But a lot of Ukrainians did that. A lot of Ukrainians used to speak Russian, and just because of the war started, they started speaking Ukrainian. I got 100% agree.
Yeah, and like back to your point about growing up Ukrainian here, like. So my mum is like viciously Ukrainian, and my dad is like a bit less so. Like my dad grew up in Crimea, and in Crimea in the Soviet Union, or at least the school he went to, he wasn't taught like the Ukrainian language and the identity of like being a Ukrainian. Even if you asked him, like he doesn't even identify as Russian per se. He's like, I'm from Soviet Union.
Because he spent majority of his time in Soviet Union. He kind of grew up in Soviet Union,
He grew up he never had a Russian passport. He never had a Ukrainian passport. Do you know what I'm saying? So like obviously like. You had the whatever federation, whatever Soviet, whatever. But anyways, Crimea is like a special region, anyways, and always has been. Like for Ukrainians, for Russians, for the Tatars that live there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like for the Turks. It's like the Crimea is like the history of Crimea is like.
You've been to Crimea? You traveled to Crimea?
I've been to Crimea. That's where like half of my family, like my grandma and my granddad, like died like during like COVID. Like thank God they didn't see the full scale. But they obviously lived through the 2014. Like it's affected my family since the beginning. So I've been very aware of what's been happening from the jump just because of family politics, and like obviously my dad like sending money back home, and we're like, that's where like I had property that belonged to my mum, which was given by the Soviet Union to my mum. They gave her Crimea, and obviously like now it's in Russian hands, right? So it's like personally, like my family has been affected very adversely, like in my family, that immediate family that I have here, and obviously like the extended family or whichever, like uncles, aunts, like how everyone has been affected in Ukraine.
Yeah.